Hey guys, Ryan King here, and I'm the keyboard instructor for worshipartistry.com. Today's YouTube lesson, we're going to take a look at the song Oceans by Hillsong, and specifically we're going to look at the tone section. Now we're only going to look at the tone section, so if you want to see the entire lesson, you need to click the link and head over to Worship Artistry where you can sign up for a free account. But just in case you want to check out a YouTube video, this is for you. The tone for this song is fairly involved, and so the easiest way to get these sounds is to own a piece of software called Omnisphere. And if you own Omnisphere, you can go to multitracks.com and you can purchase the exact patches that they used on this album. Now, in case you're not using Omnisphere and you're just using a regular keyboard, the easiest thing to do is just to dial up a good acoustic piano and a nice pad, and that will at least help you get through the song. It won't have all the frill and the flash that you hear on the actual song because there's a lot of arpeggiated sounds, a lot of sounds with motion, and the easiest way to get them is just owning Omnisphere. If you have a big, like a programming keyboard, like a Korg Triton or something like that, you could probably dial into it if you know it really well. If you don't know it very well, it's going to take a while to really get these sounds. So the easiest thing to do is to have Omnisphere, go to Multitracks, and purchase the sounds. And so if you do happen to have that, we can jump into this. The first thing that I've got here is just a good acoustic piano. It sounds like this. It's got a nice little bright attack to it, not too bright, and the reverb, got a little bit of it on there, and I don't want to drown it out too much. When you get to the bridge, you could add a little bit more if you want to, but for right now I've just got it dialed back to where you can just hear a nice sense of ambience on it. Next, in the actual Omnisphere, I've got an empty slot here so that I can just have just the acoustic piano and no other sounds sounding. The next is called an ocean pad, which they've named the pad for the actual song, and it's nice and warm and it sounds like this. That's actually a modded sound. I think it was called Wide Prophets or something like that. That's inside of Omnisphere that they adjusted. And so I've got the volume dialed back quite a bit on that so that it can really blend with the other sounds. The next one is called a wide pad, and this has a little bit more energy to it, and it sounds like this. So those are two really good analog pads. The next is called a choir shimmer, and this has got a lot of high end to it. It's kind of got almost like a choir sound to it. It sounds like this. So as you can hear, it's got a lot of reverb to it. This is probably because it's been run through a really great reverb pedal. It's got some kind of choir oohs and ahs kind of tied into it. Next is a nice big synth lead. It's called an octobell lead. And it's not a monophonic, meaning just one note at a time. You can actually play chords with this, and it sounds like this. You can hear that's got a good attack to it. It kind of dies off, but it still carries the sound through. Next is something that's very signature of this particular song, and it's called Aqua Motion. And it's got a nice arpeggiated sound that's in time, and it sounds like this. You hear how it's got almost like this reverse effect to it, and the notes taper downward. So it plays the first note, and then the next note, and the next note, and it comes on down. So that one's called Aqua Motion, and that's very characteristic of this song, especially at different portions of it. Next is what we call a classic 80s vibrasynth, and it sounds like this. Now by itself, it doesn't necessarily sound that great. It sounds great as a synth, but if we were just to play that by itself in the song, it wouldn't necessarily sound that great. And that's the reason you tie it together with other sounds and it really comes together overall. And then finally, I'm using just the glockenspiel that I'll use in a lot of different Hillsong tunes, and that sounds like this. So it's got a nice attack to it. It's a nice bell sound. And as you start to put a few of these together, it really can sound good. So again, as you combine all these sounds together, you can see it really creates for a nice performance. Also, if you don't happen to have Omnisphere and you don't happen to have these sounds, it's okay. You can just dial up a really good acoustic piano and a great pad, you'll be good to go. Be sure to click the link and head over to worshipartistry.com where you can sign up for a free account today. Every lesson comes with a music video where you can change different video angles, as well as step-by-step instruction for different sections of the song. We also have loop videos that you can practice along to, as well as sheet music, chord charts, guitar tabs, and a whole lot more. So what are you waiting for? Click the link and sign up for a free account today.